Evil Softman here, back for another vid. Yes, I'm actually doing this vid. When I promised. That's a scary thing. Right, so this is going to be the top 6 games you've been disappointed with. Well, 6 games you've basically been disappointed with in all the history of your gaming. Now, there's games I've really hated, but probably knew that going in, so I can't really say I was disappointed with them. And so here's some that I've just had a look through my collection and thought about for a few days now, actually, because cyberlanky did this on what? Tuesday, Wednesday? Something like that. So I had a few days to think about it because it was hard. But here we go. First one. WWF Attitude. Now, as I've shown before, I'm a big wrestling fan, and this was going to be my game. I got this for my birthday. I was so hyped for this game. And the graphics are shit. The controls are awful. It's all tapping combos. I really hate fighting games that have tapping combos. I like games that are kind of have a simplistic in, but then take refining. It's like Street Fighter 4 or Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, where it's very easy to get in and actually win a few fights, but it takes a long time to master. This is just lots of tapping combos. It's like, and some of it doesn't look at all right. It's like when Christian does the Unprettier, or they've called it the kill switch now, but at the time it was the Unprettier, and it's completely wrong the way he does it. He never did it like that, and yet it just looked so wrong. And the most annoying part of it was that WrestleMania 2000 came out about 2 months after this game came out in the UK. So you're like sitting here thinking, I've got this game, I worked through it all, and then to find out there's a much better game coming out, and it has so much more options, the fighting system is so much more refined, and you just feel so cheated by that game. So I'm so disappointed in that game. So that was number 1. Number 2, Meteos. This game was so heavily hyped. Well, it was when I was looking at the reviews and everything about this was going to be a really damn good puzzle game. And I thought, okay, I'm going to get this. It's just like, this is going to be awesome. And then I just thought, well, it's kind of like any other kind of puzzle game. It wasn't anything emotionally that special. It was just the way it was built up. It was meant to be amazing, and yet it just didn't do anything for me that way. Let's try and get this bloody thing. Yeah, really. Right, and just, it wasn't the game that I really thought it was. It's not a bad game at all. It's pretty good. It's just not the great, amazing game that it was, so I was quite disappointed with that. The next game is more the whole series. Now, I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, and I was a big fan of the early PS2 fighters. Then they came up with this new series, which is the Budokai Tenkaichi series. As you can see there, that's Budokai Tenkaichi 2. I do have one on the PS2. But I don't like the system. It's like they've made it 3D, which does look a bit better in the context of how an actual episode of Dragon Ball Z would have worked. But the fighting system is so repetitive and bland because of it. Plus, with the special attacks, they're kind of like, they're not epic enough. There's just like, everyone seemed to have the same attacks. It just didn't look like diverse enough at all. It was so disappointing when they come from my favourite game in the series, which was Budokai Tenkaichi 3, which was awesome and the pinnacle of it. This is why I bought, what was the 360 one? It was made by, it wasn't Rage and Blast. Rage and Blast is like a continuation of this, which is why I'm not touching it for Barge Pole. It was one before that, and it was really, they're all kind of really good, sharp, tight fighters, apart from the first one, which again had tapping combos, but they refined it for the second one. But my god, I was disappointed with that series. And they've never really fixed it. It was like when the Wii, it was even worse, because you're just doing like tunnels to go up, down, to do specials, and it's just like, no. Just didn't like it at all. It was too meh. Next one is Warhammer Online. Now, I had this game, I hyped this game for so long. this was going to be the thing that I was going to play. I wasn't going to play WoW. I was playing this. I loved the Warhammer lore so much more than I liked the Warcraft lore. Well, they nicked it anyway, but that was beside the point. But I loved like reading the codex books of Warhammer. I had one of the dwarves because that of all the armies, that was the one I was going to collect if I was actually going to do proper Warhammer. And I thought this is going to be my thing. I crap at painting, and would be too much money to buy an army to actually do that. So I thought this is going to be the next best thing. I'm going to get this. And what was disappointing, it just died near enough straight away. It was just like nobody's kept around. It was like they made too many servers right at the beginning of the game. It spread everyone out too far. It was like if they'd done it what they have now, it would have been so much better. And then built it from there once the community's actually got going, but it never got a chance to get going. It had a load of great things. I just felt so disappointed after so long and spending so many hours trying to get in that beta key. If you know what I mean of the European beta, the site was broken the whole day. The whole fucking day the site was broken, and you had to weave around it and broke through and go back, go forward, and it took hours to get into that beta download client. And I spent them hours doing it because I was so hyped for this game. And it's not a bad game, it's just disappointing how quickly it's kind of died. And I was so hyped for it, I bought the limited edition. This is the collector's edition of it. It's full. It has the whole art book, which is awesome. It has a comic in it, which is awesome. They're both hardback. It has actual Warhammer figure in it. It has the game discs. I've never used them because they upgraded the beta client instead of using the discs. That's a mint condition version of that collector's edition, and I haven't been on it in a good year. I might go back, but the way it's looking, everything seems like the lead creator of it got kicked off the team by EA. It just, no. Warning signs were already there. So yeah, that was my number 4. Number 5 is going to be Sonic 3D Flicky's Island, the Mega Drive version. I was such a huge Sonic fan at that time. I was a massive Sonic fanboy, and absolutely so disappointed with that game when I bought it. It was like, it was going to be a continuation. Oh, it's going to be pseudo 3D. It's going to look awesome. And the controls were so bad. It was glitchy as hell, and the special stages were alright, but they're near enough a retread of 2, and they were complete retread if you got the Saturn version. Even though the Saturn version had a bit better graphics, better music, I think it was a bit sharper. But it just wasn't what you were expecting from a Sonic game. And I think that was where things started to go downhill on the whole Sonic Team thing. Because it was before it even got to the Saturn, this was where it was starting to slip off ship. It was like, that was really disappointing. And number 6, I don't really know. I had an idea, and I'll probably say this, basically because I was looking about it today, and that's maybe the reason. There's probably better candidates than this. But it's Cruising USA on the N64. Because I absolutely loved the arcade version of it. I sat and played it for ages, and it was like so much fun, and the speed of it and the controls were so good, and it was like all these characters and everything running over the screen, and it was just like the music and the picking stuff, it was so awesome. And when it came to N64, most of the character sprites were taken away, the control wasn't exactly great, the graphics were pretty poor. It was just such a disappointing port after I'd been so looking forward to it because I really loved the arcade version. So yeah, there's my 6. I got through it. I don't know I'm going to tag anybody. If anybody wants to do a tag and like inspired or really has something to vent and want to get off their chest about games they're disappointed with, then go right ahead. I'm not going to really tag anybody. I'm not the biggest person like tagging people, because if people want to do tags, they'll do tags. I don't want to really say you have to do one. One last thing is to say, when I did the N64 package on Tuesday, I basically got another package the same day, but I didn't put the video up. Basically, I didn't want to overhaul because I did one Monday night, Tuesday, and I was like thinking that was going to be a bit overkill just for like a minute. But as we're here, I got another pickup, and this was on the Wii. This is No More Heroes on the Wii. This is the American version, as you can see with the M and the different cover. So I bought this entirely because it has the blood put into it, which the European and Japanese versions do not have. And I think they fixed it for the European version in 2, so I'll get the European version, I think. Though I've seen the American version cheap. I'm tempted. But there you go. I'm always tempted. I can look on eBay and think, oh, I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this. Just can't have the money for it. Right. Oh, just went back to the cinema with the girlfriend and went to see Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass was awesome. I really liked it. She was a bit hesitant. She doesn't really like a lot of gruesome actiony things, and there's some bits in there that are quite graphic, and she wasn't too keen on that, but she liked the humour. So, alright, this is Evil Sloth Man. Out.